All right, now the Chargers and Derwin James, they have reportedly started preliminary discussions about a long-term deal. He's got to be pleased to see what Minkah Fitzpatrick's market set for. It was $18 million per year, contains $36 million fully guaranteed. So, Ryan, how does James compare there?
So, Sully and I just did a podcast earlier today that'll be out tomorrow, talking about the top 10 wide receivers. But I mentioned that because Sully's list was based in part on availability. And the issue with Derwin James throughout his career is availability due to health concerns. Last year, there certainly weren't those concerns. But if you remember the year before, he got hurt in training camp, and that affected his ability to get on the field, of course. When he is on the field, he is one of the best players on the defensive side of the football. And it was sort of surprising that he fell to the middle, to the bottom first half of the first round when he eventually was drafted. You look back at that draft class and you're thinking, well, he should have been a top 10 pick. That's how important he is to that defense which is getting better each and every year with the addition of the young players. I think Brandon Staley has helped as a defensive-minded football coach, even though he's the head coach. So what does this mean for what Derwin James can expect? Jenny, you talked about Minkah Fitzpatrick's deal at $18 million. You see it right there. Is Derwin James better than Jamal Adams? And I have to say that with a solid face. Yeah, he is. The issue is that the Jets and the Seahawks are paying Jamal Adams that money. I don't know if the Chargers will be interested in doing that, even though I think he's worth it. He might be looking at around the Harrison Smith, Justin Simmons level, but he has every right to ask for Minkah Fitzpatrick money because he's that important. The only issue, of course, is he has to stay healthy. And when he's healthy, he's dangerous. And when he's not healthy, he's not helping his football team, of course.
Yeah, Ryan, I think you're right on that. I think you're looking at around like $15.5, $16 million or something along those lines. I don't think you're getting to the 18 that Minkah Fitzpatrick has with Derwin James, and specifically for that reason. The durability just isn't there. I mean, I have a story on CBS Sports right now ranking the top safeties in the NFL. He's number 2, but that was because he played, plenty of games last year. He wasn't hurt, really didn't deal with many injuries. And like you said, when he's on the field, he's as good as anyone. He really is that type of a special talent. He can line up as a regular free safety, come up in the box, go in the slot. I mean, you can move him around like a chess piece. And when Brandon Staley's talking about we need to build around Derwin James, like he's talking about Justin Herbert, like a quarterback on the defensive side of the ball, that's when you know you're dealing with a special talent. And you saw what they were able to do, obviously, this offseason, go after J.C. Jackson, trade for Khalil Mack. They're doing all the right things to surround that defense to make it far more improved, to make the Chargers competitive. And it really does solidify it with Derwin James being healthy. And if he is, he's one of the best that they have. But I don't know if you can count on that going forward, which, again, when you talk about these contract situations, these teams are going to look for every which way not to pay you. That's really the name of the game here for GMs. They're trying to bring that number down because if they're not going to spend it on you, they can spend it somewhere else to improve the roster. So, again, I think that that's going to be difficult if you're trying to break the bank or anything along those lines. If Derwin James is trying to, make this record-setting money and jump over Minkah Fitzpatrick, I just don't see it. But again, he's extremely talented. I just think you're looking more at around $15, $16 million a year as opposed to 18.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.